let's move on to the next section on our page, and that will be newsletter section. So let's collapse all other sections in our markup, and at the bottom create new one. Here I'm going to add div element. There will be a container. Let's also restrict the width of this container by using the following class max w screen sm, just like we have done for other elements on this page. And then I'm going to place heading of the second level in here, as well as short description. Now let's add a couple of classes to style those headings. Here I'm going to increase the font size. It will be 4XL. The font will be bold. And let's position this text in a center. Also, let's position the description in a center, as well as add top margin. And increase the font size. We'll make the font large. And the text color will be gray with a shade of 600. Alright, as we can see, the new section has appeared at the bottom. And now we're going to add some spacing at the top and the bottom of this section by using the py16 class. And next, what we're gonna do is we're going to add all necessary elements to create this form with one field. So right here, let's create an empty div that is going to contain a form element with one input element, as well as one button to submit that form that will say subscribe. So just to give a user some hint as of what should be entered in this field, I'm going to add a placeholder with your email text. And now we can go ahead and apply styles to the button to make it look like a button and match styles of other buttons on this page. So I'll start with increasing horizontal as well as vertical spacing. And then let's make font semi-bold. Round corners of this button. The background color will be indigo with a shade of 600. Text color will be indigo but much lighter. And when hovering over this button, the background color will be indigo with a shade of 700. Alright, cool. Now that the button is ready, it's time to work on styles for the input element. So for this, I'm going to use another Tailwind CSS plugin, which is used to simplify styling of form elements called forms. This plugin is going to reset all default styles of input elements, as well as give us an ability to easily customize input styles by using Tailwind CSS classes. And just because we are using Tailwind CSS as a place CDN, by including script tag, in this case, to install the forms plugin, we just have to specify additional parameter in this address like that and specify the plugin name that we'd like to use. So all I have to do is to basically copy this portion of this URL and paste it in the script address of the Tailwind CSS. And right away we're seeing an effect. The styles of an input element have been changed. Now I'm going to add additional styles to make it match the rest of styles on this page. So let's round corners of an input element by using a rounded LG class. We are also going to use gray border with a shade of 300. The horizontal spacing will be 4 units. The vertical spacing will be 2 units. Then we'll also add shadow behind this input element. And when focusing this input element, the border color should become indigo with a shade of 600. And also we'll add thin outline to this element when focusing, and the width of this input will be 96 units. And there we go, we're seeing an expected result. Now I'm also going to increase spacing between input and the bottom. And to do so, let's turn this form element into flexible container, where child elements will be positioned in a center. And then to increase the spacing between child elements, I'm going to use gap x2 class, like this. Then just to match width of the container with a heading inside this section, I'm also going to apply container class to this wrapper of the form. And to be able to control the spacing between the heading as well as the form itself, I'm going to make this section flexible container where elements will flow vertically. and we are able to increase spacing between all child elements by specifying gap y12 class like so. Well, let's actually assign less spacing than this. I'll set 8 units. And just like that, we have finished another section on the page.